This is Josh Friedman underneath the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Take a glance through this famous arch off to the west where the sun is setting, but it has yet to completely do so. And maybe that is a sign, as I give you a view off to the northwest, that the sun has yet to set on the United Kingdom's time in the European Union. Today is June 23rd, 2016, and it is EU referendum day in the UK. Take a quick look over across the English Channel at Brighton. No, I'm joking. You can't see the UK from here. But we're going to discuss what's going on over there. So, the European Union, symbolically speaking, is the polar opposite of this structure right here. The Arc de Triomphe is a symbol of nationalism and is associated with military victories. Hitler marched around here during World War II, and so did the French military after World Wars I and II, as well as after World War II. American troops marched around here. Anyway, the Arc de Triomphe is a symbol of nationalism and military might. Well, the EU is a symbol of internationalism or globalism or globalization. The EU was founded on the notion that war could be eliminated in Europe if countries were united through trade. The EU and its predecessor agencies were created on the principles of free movement of people, goods, services, and capital. Well, decades later, the European Union has become a 28-country political union with a central government in Brussels. And many people, many Europeans are fed up, and has gotten to the point where British Prime Minister David Cameron was politically forced to call an in-out referendum. So today, British voters are deciding whether to remain in the EU or whether to leave the EU. Issues that are at the heart of that debate are immigration and sovereignty. Sovereignty I've already touched on a little bit. Many Brits and many Europeans feel that they have ceded their sovereignty to bureaucrats in Brussels. And on the immigration issue, the European Union has allowed many people from many different countries and many different cultures to live and work side by side. That has made many people thrilled. It has also angered many people. Now, as the lighting here starts to improve a little bit, let's get back briefly to Paris and the symbolism that is in front of us. Right straight ahead is the famous Champs-Élysées. At the end of the Champs-Élysées is the Jardin des Tuileries, these beautiful gardens, and the other side of that is the Louvre, which was the home of the royalty in Paris. Standing in between here and the Louvre is the Place de la Concorde, the place where during the French Revolution the king was beheaded. So this straight line takes you from the former home of the royalty to the most symbolic spot of the French Revolution to the symbol of nationalism, and then straight ahead off to the west is a part of the city called La Défense. And as I'm trying to give you a picture of it, there are some skyscrapers there, and it's, symbolically speaking, it shows modern capitalism or corporatism or even internationalism or globalization. Something much more akin to the European Union. Now, will the Brits stay or will they go? The Leave campaign, the people calling for leaving the European Union, had been surging in the polls for weeks, but that changed recently when a pro-Remain British Member of Parliament was murdered. Heading into today, polls indicated that the Remain campaign was up by about 2 to 4 points. There is very little polling data coming out of the UK right now, but that's all going to change when the polls close in a half hour. The results are going to trickle out, and the final result should be ready by early tomorrow morning UK time. Unfortunately, there's no access tonight to the top of the Arc de Triomphe. I was hoping to give you this report from there, but with any luck, I will be up there tomorrow, and I will give you the results then if you haven't heard them in the meanwhile. So for now, from underneath the Arc de Triomphe, underneath the symbolism of nationalism, au revoir from Paris.